Yeah, the ambassadors have been great. Like today, my girls are at USC doing a pop-up on campus with the ambassadors, and they all like
cool.
got together and promoted it on campus.
Yeah.
They get like they'll meet up outside, and it's a pretty new program, but I've had some really nice feedback in terms of like the relationships these girls are making.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. Like I said, is bringing together these people. And like, I really would like to see, I guess, talking about 2019 is doing more of like these meetups in person and really, really strengthening the community in person. Like,
like you actually going there.
Get off social media for a minute and let's go meet up in person. Like I want to travel and meet these girls. Like they're the ones that inspire me every day, whether they're like just repping 12th Tribe or they shoot me a message or we're just talking in our Facebook group, but they get me so excited. And like I just want to stay connected with them in person and have them meet other people and just grow it.
Purpose in the Youth. Purpose in the Youth. Purpose in the Youth podcast. Welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. Today in the studio, Demi Marchese. What's up?
Hello.
We're going to spend a couple minutes getting your last name right because that is definitely the one thing I don't want to screw up going into a podcast is somebody's last name.
I don't know. Marchese's so pretty.
Marchese, come on. Shout out to YouTube. I thought I had it too. I was so confident it was, what was I trying? I think it was Marchese.
Marchese.
I was like, oh, that's definitely got to be. And I even confidently said it to our BTS camera before you even got here. I was like, oh, we got Demi Marchese coming through, and I'm like, oh, definitely gonna have to cut that out.
I'm so glad we went over that before.
Definitely, that is such a big point. You've been crushing it, huh? With 12 Tribe.
Thank you.
Just past 4 years.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
4 years.
That's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
What do you think's been the biggest life lesson you've learned through that business so far?
Oh my gosh, every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm learning something every single day, which if I wasn't would be a huge issue because I wouldn't be doing anything wrong, which is actually right.
Yeah.
Because I'm learning so much. But I would say, balance is very important. I think one of the biggest struggles entrepreneurs have are because we love it so much, we become obsessed with what we're doing and we want to see things executed right away. And it's really important to integrate balance in your life because you can let that get away so easily.
Yeah.
And be at your computer for 15 hours a day and completely forget there's a world outside and there's a social life and you have your family and other people that love and appreciate you, but like you're so focused and digested in what you're working on, you can forget all of that. And the most important part is just like your self-love. Like you neglect what you even need the most because you're so busy and so focused on what you're doing and for other people that you don't get the time that you deserve to yourself.
Have you at this point gotten it down to a science where it's like I'm only going to work between these hours of the day, these days of the week, or are you kind of always running on the clock?
Well, I own my business, so I'm always on the clock.
I know, you always are on the clock.
Yeah, I want to say, like, I can shut it off.
But will you shut off email, like, by 6 p.m. tonight and go, I'm not checking it till tomorrow? Or are you always kind of like, oh, wait, got an email? Let me take a little peek.
So I've actually gotten much better. So when I was working out of my apartment, it was like I would wake up, roll over, start my work. Like, and that is just such an issue.
What I hear.
I know, but it's like how often do you literally just like roll out of bed, start working, realize it's 3:00 in the afternoon, and you're like, oh my god, I haven't gone to the gym, haven't been outside, I don't even have windows in my room. Like, what is going on out in the world? And all of a sudden you start feeling like depressed and sad and lonely, and so you have to force yourself to make those changes and get out there and set up a schedule that's going to be most beneficial for you, because you could start doing that same thing every single day and not realize that like you're actually like limiting the potential you have because you're not giving your brain the space that it actually needs and re-energizing yourself by taking some of that time that you need.
Yeah.
But now that I work in an office and I leave my apartment, it's been so much more helpful. And that was like my first goal. It's like I need to separate my home and my work because I just like I go to bed at my desk, like my
Desk?
my desk.
What?
My
Yeah,
desk is my bed.
there's never that separation, so you can't ever like decompress it all from it.
Exactly. But now, I mean, like, you know, my schedule is more so like definitely get a workout in the morning, get in the office by 8:30, work through the day, try to finish up by like 6. However, I definitely am guilty of like going home, regrouping, and like starting back up again. Yeah. But now I always turn my phone on airplane mode around like 9:30 and just like put it away. It off. Yeah.
I think it's super important to have, well, a couple things. One, it's like I am obsessed with like the morning routine because I'm the same way. Like
You're so productive in the morning.
I used to do that where I'd wake up literally within 3 minutes of waking up. I'm like forcing myself to get in that like routine.
Yeah.
But then I found, no, if I go to the gym, I work out, I eat, I meditate, I do all these things, it's like priming me for the day so that by the time I even sit down to do any of this work, it ends up, I'm already good. Like I'm ready to go. But that separation is, man, it's
so tricky.
Yeah.
Because especially if
you love what you do,
yeah,
which I would imagine
I
you do. So it's like, I don't mind putting in the extra couple hours.
So like Saturdays and Sundays, I've caught myself working like most of the day. And it's like, hey, we
did get some snacks in here.
Can you cut that out?
No, just don't worry. We'll worry about that later. We'll worry about that later.
Anyways, so yeah, I mean, Sundays are like my, weirdly enough, like my best work day. I love prepping for the week on Sundays because no one's coming at me. No one's calling me. Like, I can just focus on what I need to focus on and get everything ready for the week. So Sundays, I'm always usually in the zone.
Yeah.
And Saturdays, I've like really given myself off, basically.
You're just having mimosas, enjoying yourself in West LA, living it up.
Yep, living it up.
I know. I pick you guys and gals up out there in the streets on the weekend. I'm like, oh, look at these guys. They're having too much fun out here. But yeah, Sunday's actually my low-key favorite day of the week now because it almost is like a moment of I think back on the last 6 days and like what I've done, all the things I've accomplished, and it's the one day of the week where I feel refreshed. And then by the afternoon, I'm like shutting it down, watch a movie or whatever, and then by Monday morning, I'm kind of like ready to go and get back to the grind.
Yeah, so many people dread Mondays.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I like can't imagine dreading my Monday. It comes around and I'm like, yes, let's go.
Yeah, you get back in the team with the team, right? Like you get to go back to the grind and get back in working.
Yeah, it's like a blank slate, but then build it better than last week. I know.
That's why it's like I feel so grateful for all the people that I've been able to sit down and have a conversation with because they don't really have that hate for Monday. Like I do remember that feeling though, like being in college, like Sunday scaries, gotta get back to the grind Monday. Monday morning would come, I would purposely make my classes at noon because I didn't want to deal with the morning.
Yeah.
But there are too many people in this world that are going to wake up on a Monday and absolutely hate what they do and go, oh, here's the next 5 days. Here's the next 3.
Like all those quotes that surface on like Instagram that are like dreading Monday and like
Monday motivation.
Screw Monday. But like people will like, constantly talk about how much they hate Monday. Like it's this thing everyone should be like bonding over.
Yeah.
But it's not. Like you shouldn't hate your Monday. So you should reevaluate. Whoa.
I don't know what happened there. There's a lot of shit going on right here. A little light flicker here. We're still good. I don't know what's going on. But...
Okay. Wow. My serious. What was I saying?
Monday.
So serious
some
about
people
this
hate.
Monday
I know.
Matters
Somebody
situation.
was listening to like shut her down. Mondays.
But
though.
yeah, like if you don't love your Monday, you got to reevaluate what you're doing in your life. Yeah. It's like.
Let's
you should be so excited to wake up and start your week. Like you have a brand new week ahead of you. 7 days to just like flourish and conquer whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Fortunately, some people are going to learn the hard way, and then some people like yourself are going to be able to wake up and actually say that they love what they do. And I feel like that's, at least if you can be an example, then hopefully somebody will get some inspiration from it. Let's go back to Danville, California. That's where you're raised.
Yeah, Little Bubble.
Little Bubble?
Yeah.
What's it like growing up there?
Well, at the time, like the worst. But you go back home and realize, oh, wow, this is the most amazing place. It's just a very small town. Everyone knows everyone. So I lived in, my parents were separated. So one was in San Ramon, one's in Danville, but it's just neighboring towns. Okay. But Danville has a very, I would say, I don't know, interesting. Everyone kind of does the same thing, like the same path. And very competitive. Expectations are very high in school, sports, everything. I mean, people coming out of my high school were like top quarterbacks now, and everyone going to Stanford and NYU and massive schools, and which is great. It's an amazing experience to be around people who like have so much push from their family and everything, but it was very competitive growing up there.
Yeah. And it was like 45,000 people. I think that's like the same exact size of the city that I grew up in. That's why I was like, okay, she probably kind of grew up in the same environment. The way you're describing, everyone knows everyone. Everyone follows the same path, but there's still it's still big enough where there is a little bit of a separation.
Yeah.
And this was east of San Fran too, so that's got to be pretty good to be at least in that hub of San Francisco.
The place itself.
Sorry, no, I'm just gonna turn it. You're good. You can lean like you are. I just want to make sure it's not leaning too much towards me.
Cool. It's in a great location. I mean, it's 35 minutes from San Francisco. And when I started my business, that was a saving grace because there's not much fashion in Danville. Actually, there's none.
None. You were like the founder of the fashion there? Pretty much.
Basically, yeah. So when I was able to go into the city, I mean, that's where I did like my first shoot. I would do a bunch of my buying, and it was a blessing.
It was the place to be to get all that done.
Kinda. Like LA is.
Yeah. LA is a hub.
Up there.
Competitiveness. I read in an interview that somebody asked you about who your mentor was, and you answered your mom.
Yeah.
How did she serve as a mentor for you as a kid?
She demonstrated just a completely different lifestyle than I feel like most of the people I was around were being introduced to, in terms of just facing your fears, going for your dreams, following your passions, really saying yes to literally everything. And at age, I don't know, 16 it was, when I was in high school, she pulled me out of school. We went to a trade show in Las Vegas, which is called Magic. It's like one of the largest fashion trade shows. You might be familiar with like Agenda.
We were literally just talking about Agenda right before you got here. Yeah.
So when I was 16, I got pulled out, but my dad, complete opposite mindset, was a little anti. Okay. Yeah. A little anti.
Follow the system. You're going to school, you're doing this.
Doing that side. But so anyways, my mom owns her own business. She started her first company when she was about 25. And she just lives a very yes lifestyle. She's a go-getter. It's crazy.
What type of business?
When she first started, it was actually, you know those like MC Hammer pants? Yeah. Those like crazy big ones.
She was making them?
Yeah, so those were hers. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Out in Santa Cruz, and she moved down to Venice, and it was like, it blew up. It was crazy. No internet, which was even crazier.
Wow. That's like true business. Like having to get it off the ground without internet, without posting on Instagram. I can't even imagine.
I know. So now she owns a brand merchandising company. So like all of this stuff like printed. Yeah. If you ever need anything.
Oh, you're the plug? You're the plug for that?
Yeah.
That's probably got to be helpful to have that entrepreneurship mother like show you the way, because especially like being a woman too, obviously you're always getting downplayed, I feel like, for a lot of times, and so you're growing up with a figure that is literally making things happen and is forcing you.
She's gone through the exact same things that I feel like I'm going through, and it's mind-blowing for both of us, because it's almost like she can tell my future in a sense. She's like, okay, this is going to happen, so don't do that. Like,
we're going to stop you now before it gets really crazy.
So stop. Yeah. And so, I mean, I talk to her every day. Morning, 7:55, either one of us is calling each other on the way to work and just dishing out the day.
Just check in about everything. Mm-hmm. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have 2 younger brothers.
Oh, so you were out there showing them the way then, huh?
Yeah. They don't even know how cool I am.
They don't even know.
They're 13 and 16.
Oh, so they're young bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's got to be kind of a... You're like then I bet you they look up to you then. You're young, you're living in LA, you run your own business. They're still in high school or even middle school.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazier is our worlds are starting to collide because we have a lot of ambassadors that represent 12th Tribe, and they're in high school. Some of them are in high school. So my little brother, who is in high school, is like, do you know da-da-da? And I unfortunately don't. Because we have thousands of ambassadors, but now I do. And he goes, oh, that's this girl from my high school. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
You go to school with somebody that's an ambassador for me, and that's my brother.
Yeah. Wow. So now my little brother reps the tribe on his phone. And,
that's so amazing.
Showing all
You're going to have to get him on the business. You got to get him on the business.
I know. I'm like, hey, summer vacation.
Come on down.
Yep.
Unpaid internship. I'll put you up. Right. You got a place to live. You can go to the beach after work every day. That's amazing. How would you describe who you were in high school?
Oh, gosh. I hated school.
Really? Completely?
Yeah, I didn't like school. I mean, like, I was very social. I was that person who's friends with everyone. My group of friends were all different types of people, which I pride myself to still have.
Yeah.
I love surrounding myself with different but similar people.
Yeah.
But I was just very, like, I've always loved fashion, and I knew I wanted to go into it. When I was 14, I was working at Nordstrom. Like,
wow.
You can't even do that.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say, you definitely beat the system on that.
Yeah, so I was on the fashion, they have this fashion board at Nordstrom. So it's kind of like an internship when you're like 14.
Okay.
And they allow you to work in BP at that age, which now I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, I was so young.
Yeah, I was not supposed to be working
there.
there.
What were they doing? But so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely was social. Like, I think I got out all my partying literally in high school.
Really? Mine was the college stage. I mean,
dude. I wasn't really a big partier in college, and I'm not now. And I think it's because of high school. Like,
you went through that phase.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. We had, like, the craziest little parties.
That's another podcast in itself.
We're not going to touch this.
Yeah, we're not going to
My parents are just learning about all this stuff.
Yeah, they're now hearing the story like, oh, so that's why you weren't home for this night back when you were 15 or 16 years young.
Yeah.
What was it about fashion, though? Like, what were you pulled in at for 14? Like, it's a pretty good age to start kind of figuring out, like, what you were passionate about. What was it about fashion?
I think it started even younger based off what my mom said. Like, I was always laying out my outfits, which is so funny to me. Like,
for the week or for like
the
night
day.
For the day, okay.
Yeah,
so like,
but like down to the earring and like the ring,
man.
just like full look on the ground. Anyways, but it was more so just like the creative expression. I think that I really loved. Because it wasn't, I don't know, there's a lot of there's things that I love about the industry, and there's things I really don't love about the industry, but it's just, the creative expression through the clothing, I guess, is what really captured me at a young age, because it's not like I had my hands in really a business side of it or anything like that.
Did you find yourself, you were like standing yourself out from the crowd?
Yeah.
You were like the one that was like
I was that one
up.
where they'd be like, what is that hat? And then like 2 weeks later, everyone's wearing a fedora. Wow. And I'm not saying like I'm a trendsetter.
I got you.
At all. Like,
I got you.
Not like that.
Demi might be the trendsetter. It's okay.
I mean, I did get my stress. No, I actually was so shocked by that. I didn't really, I had no idea people even like valued the fashion that I had or anything, or like how I expressed myself through clothing, because people would make little jokes and make fun of me. So if anything, I was like, oh, I look like a pirate today, like what? But it was just like how people don't know how to describe things, and they
just want to poke fun at you a little bit. What made you want to go to San Diego State University? Communications major. So I'm guessing you probably went in there with still the passion of fashion. That was some passion of fashion.
I know.
That was probably.
Never heard that.
I'm assuming, was that something you still had your eyes on, that was going to be the industry you want to end up in?
I was a little bit confused. So after I graduated high school, I actually went to community college. So I went to a community college in my hometown, and then another community college in San Diego, and then I went to San Diego State. So I went to 3 different schools in 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It's a lot.
How did you? So how did you choose at least the community college in San Diego? Because you're up probably 8 hours north.
Yeah. So I went to the first one in my hometown, and then I was like, I need to get out of here.
Yep.
But I also think I want to transfer to San Diego State, because what held me back a little initially from going to a school was that I did want to study like retail and consumer science or something on like the apparel side. However, it's really hard to find a major,
like a program for that.
Yeah, there's like 2 in California, and then like U of A, which I really need to be by the ocean. And
you California folks,
like I said, I was like,
you don't even know.
Yeah, I know. We're so spoiled.
Come from Massachusetts.
I know, we're so spoiled.
We were just talking about before you got here.
I know.
Growing up, having to walk in snow, like walking to school. I was kicking snow, and I'd get to school, and I would warm up, and my shoes would be soaked from the wetness of the snow. That's another story. We're not going to talk about it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool.
I'd rather kick
I need to be by the ocean. But anyway, I love it.
I have to be by the water.
I love it.
Okay. So what I really, like, what was actually really important to me is that I needed an area that I could get exposure and be a part of something outside of school. And for U of A, it's like very U of A focused. There's a lot of partying there. Like, it's a great school, like had a great program. But for me, like, I was really looking forward to the internships, the like business experience outside of the school. And I actually had never been to LA, so LA wasn't really something I considered at the time. And then San Diego was basically like the closest best option.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of PR companies there, and somewhat a little fashion like connection, I guess you could say. But yeah, and I wanted like the football and the basketball. However, I never went to any of those, so I don't really know what I was doing.
But I think the big thing is that it was getting you out of that hometown to finally like grow up into.
I wanted a college experience.
Yeah.
Like, and I still didn't really get that in full because I went to 3 different schools in 4 years.
I know I transferred once, so I do.
Yeah.
I understand the struggle of transferring and having to like throw yourself into a new environment when everybody has their cliques and you're like, where do I go? But to do it 3 times,
I know.
that is even tougher.
I know. But what I will say to most people, especially nowadays, is go to community college. If you have to go to college, go to community college because 1, you save money. 2, you figure out what you want to actually do.
I know.
You mature so much. Like, I changed so much the first year of school, not only because like the class schedule and how you're learning is so different than high school, but you aren't bombarded by all the partying. You're not distracted. You're really focused on getting the heck out of there. You have to be careful because a lot of people don't even get out of community college. But I was so focused to get out, and I went from being like a 3.0 student in high school to like a 4.0 in college, and it was like I finally figured out, okay, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And
college is a lot different too because you just like you have 15 hours of class a week. And then you just have to get the work done.
Yeah, it's so much more
I meet so many high schoolers through Uber, and I tell them, like, listen, I'm telling you right now, buddy, you're going to be fine. I was like, college is actually easier.
I know, so scared to go to college.
It seems like more workload because you're in this whole college world. Yeah. But actually, it's just the responsibility of actually getting this stuff done because you have more free time. Yeah. But the workload isn't as much. I mean, you had to do that 5 days a week for these classes in high school. Yeah. Now I see this professor once, maybe twice a week, and then I have 6 days to do the work.
Crazy? We would go to school at like 8 a.m. and leave at 3.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It's too much.
That's why at college I was like, yeah, I definitely love this. While you were in college, though, I don't know what year this was, or maybe this was at San Diego. Is it La Celeste Summer?
Oh God, that vlog.
Yeah, what was that?
Did you go on that page?
I kind of skimmed around a little bit.
There, geez.
Skimmed around a little bit. It was I read it was like a travel journal and style scrapbook with love from a broke college student who was blessed enough to see the world. What inspired you to start the blog?
So, Celeste Summer means heavenly, forever summer, basically. And I studied abroad in college, so at San Diego State. And I went to Barcelona.
That's crazy. There. So while you're even at the short term of San Diego, you're like, yeah, I'm going abroad. See you guys later.
I guess I didn't really even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we'll call it 4 schools then at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
damn.
Crazy.
Anyways, so I went to Barcelona. I studied abroad there, and my whole life was literally changed. Like, I loved going to school out there. I was amongst a lot of people who weren't really there to go to school. It was very like, I'm going to party all night and like
in Barcelona?
Yeah, go to McDonald's and
that's
get
what I
my,
always
like,
hear.
chicken
Everybody
nuggets. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? We're in Spain. 1, I'm going to go to class because I need to learn about international business. Yeah. And 2, like tapas and salsa.
Thank you.
Anyways, so I studied abroad. I went to a few different countries. It actually is part of what inspired 12th Tribe, but as a result, I just wanted to have an outlet where I could I was always writing, and I was always in my own head just about like entrepreneurship, things I wanted to start, motivating other people. So like while it was a style scrapbook,
I got you.
Oh my God.
I got you. We got you.
Style scrapbook. It was more of like just a few photos, whatever, with the outfits curated, but it was more so like paragraphs about like inspiration or like facing your fears or like challenging the unknown and stuff like that, just because I felt like there was so much more than just fashion that people should be worried about. But I wanted to show like part of the travels within it.
Where did that
It wasn't a very I wasn't very dedicated to that blog.
But it was something. It was a starting point, right? It was a starting point of actually throwing yourself out there and documenting
totally. And it was just for me. Like, I didn't care if anyone looked at it. It was honestly the last thing I really would check. Like, I would never look at the analytics. It was just for me to like spit out words.
Whatever's going through your head, put it onto words.
Totally. Come to find out, people had been reading it, and I actually launched my store it was called Celeste Summer for like a second, and then I changed it. But come to find out, people actually were reading it, following it, and then buying from me.
Why were you putting out like the inspiration stuff? Like, why? Like, what was going through it? Was it because you just accidentally were just writing about your life and it was inspiring others, or were you like, I need to put into words what I'm feeling because I know it's going to affect
someone else? Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, that's the whole reason I built this brand, is because I really loved brands when I was younger because it made you feel a part of something. And so that's basically where Tribe came from in the brand name. It really brings together people because the mission or what you're portraying through the brand is something that people can resonate with.
Yeah.
But the reason why I wrote about not just like the shorts I was wearing paired with the belt, because it's like cute for summer. It was like, okay, I love like the creative expression and putting together all the stuff, but there's so many more deep, there's so many things that are so much deeper than just clothing that people need to realize about themselves, about other people, about their future, about what they have the ability to do. Like at the end of the day, like my goal through the brand itself is just to inspire people. Like, and that's why I've shared so much about my story throughout the whole brand, because it started from literally nothing. And I've gone through the hardest ups and downs. And the reason I can get through them is because I listen to other people talk about them. So that was even the case like when I was in college. People are going through rough things all the time. And it's like people just need to know there's someone there going through it as well.
Yeah.
And I was really into like personal development books. I honestly turned nerd like junior year of college. Like I said, I never partied anymore. I was like always reading. I just I became obsessed with personal development books. And that ended up being what I was writing about. It was like, I don't know.
Do you think it's because? Do you think you went on this whole like self-development nerd out thing? Not to, like, I think it's hilarious.
No,
I
it's
love
kind of nerdy. Like
I went through it when I graduated. I went through that first full year. I mean,
everyone's out like raging at the bars, and I'm like, I'm actually gonna read Napoleon Hill tonight.
Do you think it was because you really had a clue as to what you were gonna do after school? I mean, you didn't have it fully laid out, but having this passion for fashion, starting to build out a platform to have a voice. Do you think it was because you had something to work on?
Yeah, I think that would be part of it for sure. I would, like, my last year of college, I was like so ready to get out and just start something.
Yeah.
I didn't really even know if I was going to start something. It was even like maybe I'll just go work for someone else and contribute to building their company, but I just have so much motivation to do something more than school, especially within my major. My major wasn't very thrilling.
No. The classes weren't that great. I mean, I would imagine black and white looking communications would be the best major to go with, because it's supposed to incorporate all these things that you would use today, and I'm sure it probably wasn't even.
No.
Open to the 69th page today, read through 100, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah. And let me just tell you the theory of this communication, and like how we're speaking right now equals this. It's like, that's not gonna. I never took a finance class, accounting class. Like,
wow.
I never opened up one Excel sheet in college.
They didn't make you take any type of business 101?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Which is mind blowing to me now. I'm like,
that's usually a gen ed, like a baseline.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Crazy.
Wow. Shout out to the schools that
start
putting business in there. Jesus.
I know.
So when you're graduating, this is when you apply for that job at Nasty Girl.
Gal.
Nasty Gal. Sorry.
Nasty Girl.
Well, we're calling them girl because they didn't take you.
More sassy.
So it's Nasty Gal. You didn't get the job, or you didn't hear back from them at least, and then this is kind of like the starting point for 12 Tribe, right? You started having it was like
kind of like this blessing in disguise, I guess.
Yeah. So how did that all kind of come about?
Well, I guess I'll rewind a little bit so that I can resonate with all my lady friends out there. But
please.
Basically, so after I graduated college, I was going to go back to San Diego. I moved home for a little because my lease was up. Went back home, and I was planning to find a job back in San Diego because I had a relationship down there. And, well, you know how that goes. So things went their
Talk to him.
Yeah, so things went their separate way. Obviously devastated. And
how long was the relationship?
The biggest. On and off for like 2 years.
Wow.
The biggest blessing in disguise.
Really?
If you're listening, so sorry, but thank you. It was such a blessing in disguise, and it taught me, it has resonated with me over the years so hard, because everyone gets so caught up on things not working out their way, but reality is as cliche as it is, everything happens for a reason. Like a door might slam in your face, but that's just because another one's going to open with like a brighter light outside. And so that's really what happened, is like I didn't go back to San Diego because I was like, there's no fashion down there. This relationship is like done. And so let's re-strategize here.
Yeah.
And then I went and interviewed with this company that I really had my like set hopes and dreams on. It was just more so we missed each other's call. Like, we never even got to have the interview. But it was, like I said, this blessing, and I ended up working on my own thing and launched it a little bit later and really just focused on it. Stopped sending out resumes.
There are too many times, and I just saw a homie of mine that happened with, where all chips go in on a relationship and then it crumbles and then it's like, where do you go?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's like kind of scary to think about, especially in these years of like even like call it 16 to like 26. Like I've seen people that were in relations from 18 to 23 and then they break up and it's like, man, I mean, great. You probably learned a lot and I hope it was a great 5 years, but it scares me to see like the fact that you told me you recognize that and you're like, I'm not going back to this. This is not going to work out. Like that's huge because most people I think would follow through and actually go follow the relationship when it actually isn't going to get them anywhere.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're only young once and we're only doing what we are here to do for a short amount of time. And it's not that anyone's being selfish at the end of the day. I mean, it's a little bit, but you have to be in order to fulfill yourself, and you have to love yourself before someone else can love you. And if you end up pursuing a path that isn't fulfilling to you and end up settling for something else, you're going to be missing a big part of yourself. So
so when you said earlier about 12 Tribe, you wanted to build like this community, like this tribe of people, right? What for you when launching it, what was like the target demographic? Like who did you want rocking?
Anyone.
And yeah, of course you wanted anybody. Your grandmother wanted to take this.
So here's my address, literally at my mom's like house in this spare bedroom. Like,
I love it.
Come over. So ironically enough though, like my first sales, like as soon as it went up, were people that like were friends, mutual friends, probably from my hometown that just like always followed my blog that I didn't really know. And then it shifted to the 55-year-old woman of Danville because I started just doing pop-ups in all of the country clubs for the holidays.
Amazing. They were down to spend the money, right? That's where the money's at.
They were
right?
like, raise the prices. They were because I'm like 22, and they're like,
they want to support the
prices. What are you doing? I'm like, Mom, can I do that? Like,
they want to support you.
Yeah, so I got to go back to them.
Wow.
Anyways, and then it shifted to like my Coachella girls because, which was great. And my goal was to move down to LA.
So you went back. You're running it at least in the beginning out of
Danville.
Okay.
Yeah. Like literally out of my mom's spare bedroom upstairs. Like I had girls coming in and shopping out of that room. It was the craziest thing. Like one rack, and it's like there's stores, but like why come to my random room?
So why do you think they were coming to you then? Because it's mine. It's Demi's.
No, at the end of the day, I realized it was like the styling aspect of it that I was really helping them with. Because when I'd have girls come by, they'd be like, "Hey, I have this, and I need some help like dressing for it." And I was putting together the outfits for them. So
this was like a one-stop shop.
It was
we'll
a
put it all
one-stop
together.
shop. Yeah, it wasn't like I was sitting on the couch saying, "Here, it's my clothes." It was like, great, you got to go where? Let's do this dance. So I would put together different looks for them and set them up with what they need. And that's really what I would say launched the whole business. Because when I moved to LA in March, I dressed probably thousands of girls for Coachella.
Wow.
Yeah.
What you said it moved in March. When was that?
So I graduated in June. And then
so you spent like, so you probably
March.
spent like 7 months back home getting it off the ground. And then moving to LA. At what point was this business like really moving, or did you just like roll the dice and had to come down here and work another job to pay the bills?
So when I was home for like 6, 7 months, come December, I remember this so vividly, but I was like, March 1st, I'm moving to LA. My mom's like, are you sure you want to do that? Like kind of questioning it, which she never does. She's always like, go.
Yeah.
Questioning it. So my mom questions it. I'm like, oh, good Lord. Like, what am I doing? And so I just said, yeah, March 1, I got to. I have this plan. Like, I'm going to make it happen. Come around February, I go down and look for apartments. Okay, my budget's $800 because in San Diego, that's what I pay. I paid $700. I come down, I'm looking everywhere. We're in the hood. It's like $900. My mom's like, you're not moving to LA. I'm like, no, I'm moving. Yeah. So I keep looking, whatever. We find something that's like maybe it was like $1,150, which is way more than $800.
Wow.
But still lower for LA. So I find that. And
what part of LA is this in?
Miracle Mile. So actually pretty nice, pretty nice
it's a good
area.
spot.
Yeah, but I just remember it's like a month before I'm supposed to move there. I'm bawling my eyes out at dinner, like, oh, I need another job. Like, how am I going to do all this? I need to do all 12th Tribe, but I'm not going to make my bills. This is crazy. I'm just crying my eyes out. Anyways, I get down there March 1st, pay my bills, no problem.
Really?
Yeah.
It started to ramp up.
When I say I'm moving to March 1st because I have a plan, it was like no joke. I have a freaking plan, and I literally dress all the girls for Coachella. I had them coming in, my poor roommate, my poor roommate. I love you. And thank you.
Yeah.
We literally had a boutique in our living room, and I had girls I didn't even know coming into our apartment, dressing them for full 3 days of Coachella. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Can you describe why this is like a thing? Because this is so
why
new to me. Why is Coachella just like the thing? And we need to have outfits and like girls are buying these outfits 6 months out. Like why is that?
I literally had someone ask me for Coachella outfits like this week. I almost died. I was like, no.
Why?
February.
Why is this such a big deal? Like,
dude, it's such a fashion show. It's crazy. But the crazier part is when these girls are coming through and they want to be styled. Sorry to say this, but I had never even been to Coachella.
Wow. And so you were just basing on like...
I just guessed. I was like, yeah, those shoes are great. Sand, desert, a lot of walking. Perfect. You're
She's
good.
over on Google like trying to get the aesthetic right. It's okay, yeah, they're going to need this.
Like,
they're going to need that.
Boho with edge. Go.
Wow.
So, yeah. And like people were referring other people. People were coming through. People would meet me in a Whole Foods parking lot for these denim shorts because I had this one really coveted vintage item that we reworked and made into this like Levi denim short. And they really, truly are like the best jean shorts I guess any girl could ever have. Yeah. And these girls would meet me in parking lots to pick up these shorts, try on a few to see which ones worked.
Whole Foods parking lot? At least to feel safe. I feel like that's a good safe spot.
Yeah, like
this
3rd Street in Fairfax.
Yeah. This isn't like just a random like Ralph's or something in the middle of like Compton or something like that. Yeah, Whole Foods. Yeah, you want to get a salad? We'll get a salad too. We'll put it on the budget. Wow. Yeah. Did you know anybody moving to LA?
So the girl I moved in with, our parents were friends, but I didn't really know her, so it was through just like our family friends knowing each other. And then when I moved down, Blake and Spencer had actually just moved here, which was great. And then I just met some people from them and other people connecting because I did wardrobe styling when I first moved down here as well. Briefly, like I did the SBs, few CoverGirl commercials, some Nick Jonas, some random things. But
Nick Jonas, no big deal.
Sorry,
the eye roll that they won't be able to see visually was classic.
Oh man, did I just look super pretentious and like, oh man, I'm sorry.
I love it.
I was trying to say it like nonchalantly.
I love it. No, you have to be confident about it. You did the work. Like you made this shit work.
Oh God, people hate me. Anyways,
I love it. I love it.
So just some things like that. And so I met some people through those opportunities because being a solo entrepreneur, I was literally in my room by myself staring at the wall. So I had to go out and meet some people. But over the year, people from San Diego State started moving up and it was nice.
And you just started to build out a community. How, like overall, what do you think was there ever a point when you felt like you had to leave LA? Like, did you ever have, because I feel like so many times, see, that's what I want to hear. I hear so many conversations of people telling me either they left LA multiple times or they've had this conversation of,
if you've
I need to get out of here.
LA, it's like,
it's
you can
unbelievable.
survive anywhere.
Why is this city like that?
I'm not answering that.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That bad, huh?
No, it's just it's a cutthroat city. I mean, like, everyone's out here trying to make it. Yeah. It's so entrepreneurial focused in every type of industry, whether it's acting, modeling, now tech, fashion.
What do they call it? Silicon Beach?
Yeah, Silicon Beach.
Yeah, oh my God.
Everyone's on a mission, and a lot of people think they can do it, and I'm sure we can all do it, but the mindset you have to have is extremely strong. Yeah. And I remember when I first moved here, I'd always hike Runyon. And every month I would make sure to go up and like kind of pat myself on the back. Like I'll never forget. It was like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, like
okay. That's
4
cool.
months. Okay. Like nice. You're doing it. It was kind of like my own pep talk. Yeah. But there was multiple times where my mom was like, you need to move. You need to move out of LA.
Mentally?
Why? Yeah. Mentally? Yeah. When you first move here, I mean, there's a lot of money here. There's a lot of competition, a lot of facade, a lot of expectation to be a certain way, and it's really important to stay true to yourself, and I find it hard for a lot of people to do here.
Yeah, I know.
And it's unfortunate, but I would like to pride myself in saying I have stuck pretty true to my roots. Yeah. When I first moved down here, I did go home like a decent amount of time, maybe every few months or so.
It's an easy flight straight up the coast.
Yeah, it's only an hour. But yeah, I have so many friends who have moved out of LA because they can't handle it, or have moved out and come back and realized, okay, this is my place. Like, you need to go home for a little bit, regroup, realize like, I got this, and where I'm from is not what I want anymore, and then come back.
This place is a trip. That's why sometimes I like living out in the valley, because I can go to the local grocery store, I can go to like a restaurant, and I don't have to feel like there's eyeballs.
Yeah.
Everybody out here in the valley is just like living their life. And then anytime I go into West LA, which I want to be there, like that's where I want to live next.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody's got their head on a swivel, and everybody's trying to be somebody they're not. And it's just like, man, I think people would respect whoever this person is more if you just were who you were. Like, just be authentically you. Stop trying to be bigger than you are. Stop bullshitting. That's being East Coaster. My bullshit radar so good.
Yeah, me
and I
too.
will call them
I'm
out.
not gonna lie.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, get out of my car. I don't want to hear this shit. Get out of my car.
Yeah, it's important. Like, people respect just being authentic and telling someone if if you aren't killing it, you don't have to be killing it. You can say like, things are going great, but this or that. Like, open up to people and be more vulnerable. Like, people are very standoffish.
What's been your biggest struggle with growing 12th Tribe over the last 4 years?
The structure, operations, systems, just getting those in place. Like, we continue to grow, which is amazing. It's just finding the right structure to make it grow faster and better. And there's so many different things you can always be trying. Bringing in the right people.
That's a huge one, I feel like. That's got to be the toughest one. How many people do you have working with you right now?
There's 6 of us.
Wow. Including you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But some of them are like out of office in Northern California. And then, so just...
This can be a headache sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. How do you... The thing about 12 Tribe, for people that are listening, maybe haven't checked it out, which you must if you haven't already.
The guys, think about your girlfriends.
Yeah.
Holidays.
Also, I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking that before we did the pod. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I say to check it out for the girls, but the guys check out for the girls. They got some good
holidays.
stuff.
Seriously though, we help so many guys around the holidays. They'll send us emails and they're like, "Hey, my girlfriend shopped with you. Can you look at her customer information?" We're like, "Oh yeah, dude, we got you.
We got you."
Yeah, they'll come into the showroom and shop, and I'm like, "Yes, this is the best."
He has no idea what he's doing.
Totally.
We're getting you the deluxe. You're getting the
boys,
treatment.
Trust me, they're gonna love it. So come to me.
So you have everything though, which is what I love. You have the clothes, shoes, accessories, home decor, beauty, everything. How do you determine like what to sell and what's gonna go on the site, what doesn't? How have you figured out what is your taste?
Well, quality is really important. So if I don't like the quality of something, it's going back to where it came from. But I've really learned our customer very well, having been so hands-on over the years, whether it's like in our DMs, our live chat, on our ambassador group, in person. I'm just always listening what people are saying about the styles that they want, or the quality that they have, or where else they shop and stuff like that. But one thing that I love most about our brand is how unique a bunch of the collections are, like our vintage stuff, like we were talking about. We have a lot of like vintage Harley, which is really sick, vintage Levi's, it's all like reworked one of a kind denim, vintage bags from like India and Morocco. And I always do a buying trip once a year. It's actually called my treasure hunt.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's my treasure hunt, because life's always a treasure hunt. You're always on the search for that gold, and it's always a journey. So anyways, I go to last year I went to Europe and I went to France. I did vintage buying in Paris, which was really cool.
Wow.
The year before I went to Bali, or Southeast Asia, a few times. I've been to Singapore, went to Costa Rica with the group. Wow. So I'm always trying to make sure I keep that global inspiration.
Yeah.
And then do the buying through that as well.
And a lot of that inspiration comes from that abroad, right?
Yeah.
That I think it was 11 countries you ended up traveling to. And so into probably
12. Into the 12th.
Oh, so that's where the name came from. I love that.
I'm so glad we pieced that together through the conversation.
Throughout the conversation.
Usually people are like, can you tell me where the name came from? And it's
no, we got to work your way in. We got to take all the pieces of the puzzle to get there. No, that's why it makes sense. Yeah. Okay. The 12th. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's amazing. What would your best piece of advice be to entrepreneurs that are listening? I get a lot of entrepreneurs that listen to the podcast now. They're starting their own brands. DM
me, because I have a novel for you.
And you do have a blog too, I've seen. So I don't know if you talk about.
Yeah, I started touching base back on that blog a little bit more. I think I have literally 3 posts up there, because I just started it again this last month.
I read the first one that was there, so maybe I didn't scroll far enough.
Yeah, there's just a few. But I'm making it a mission to just put one out once a week. to once again just dump my mind on some pages
yeah.
and connect with everyone. But let's see, best piece of advice. I feel like I'm always thinking of like a new really good one, and I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's better. I'm like, that's better. But
I don't know which one I want to go with.
Yeah, it's probably to.
Because you're doing it. Like I know it's before you say it. Maybe this will give you a couple of more seconds to think about it. But like, it's very easy. I'm sure living in West LA right now, you're surrounded by some extremely passionate people. I see the people that you're surrounded by. A lot of previous guests I've had on the podcast. It's very easy to just competitively, you're just doing your thing. Everyone's doing their thing. Everyone's growing.
Yeah.
But when you pull yourself out of the environment and you look at who you actually are, you're a young woman who runs a successful business. So like your business, you're living on it. You have a office for it. You're traveling around the world because of it. It's pretty like for people that there's going to be somebody that probably listens like that is dreaming to create something that is sustainable like that. So whatever you have that's brewing, I'm sure it's going to resonate with somebody.
Yeah, I think actually on the note of being surrounded by so many people who do have successful things going on, I am so proud of all of them.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that most people or a lot of people need to remember is not to compare yourself though. Because especially with social media, it's going to drain our society if that is really going to be something you focus on. And I know so many people and I am guilty of it as well, is comparing myself to people on the internet or people you hear about and kind of tear yourself down in a sense and think, oh, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing as much, they're doing more, how do I do that? Like there's no way I can do that. And so it's so important just to focus on your own lane. Like when we look at competitors and like notice one or two things, I tell my girls, like set it aside, look forward, and do not look back because it's going to slow you down. Like do not look around you and focus on that because it's just like a race. Literally, if you're sprinting down the finish line and you're looking to your right or your left to see who's on your shoulder, it's going to slow you down. It's going to put you behind. So you have to just stay focused on what you're doing, stay true to what you're doing, and don't psych yourself out.
I think one thing I've gotten much better is not looking at social media as much. Like I post a lot, and so people I think probably like, this kid literally is addicted to social media, but I don't. I don't consume. I just produce, and I hope through like the content I produce, it's either funny, it's inspirational, or it's giving people like behind the scenes of my life. But the amount I consume is so much different because I will do that. I had it happen a couple weeks, literally last week. And so I made a solo podcast out called Comparing Yourself to Other People is a Recipe for Disaster. Because it's very easy if you're an entrepreneur to be seeing what other brands are doing. For me, other podcasters, camera people, like it's so easy for that split second because you could have had like the greatest day of your life the day before, all the success, everything's going into place. And then the next day you like compare yourself to something and it's like,
comparison is the thief of joy.
And it pulls you right back down. But
I do the same thing now, and I encourage a lot of people to. And I know actually a lot of creatives who or content producers that just put out what they need, turn off their social media, and just let it rest because it can be so distracting.
You're always checking on the noties and everything else.
Yeah,
I don't know. I produce a lot, but hope they're enjoying the Bearded Man content if they are paying attention to it. What do you want to see happen to 12th going into 2019? I know this is like January comes, everybody's putting at the top of their list. They're writing down their big goals. We're in November right now. Is there something big? Because that'll be year 5 for you, right? Going into 2019.
About 4.5. Yeah.
What's jumping into your mind about?
Oh my gosh, so many things.
A lot.
Yeah. Dude. I mean, just alone in my car, I had like an hour conversation about like 2019, but some things I just can't really share on here.
Yeah. I got you.
I'm excited. We've had great growth over the last year. It's definitely going to be important to put new structures in place. And I really want to develop our own line. So we're a retailer, so we work with other designers, but definitely going to focus on doing our own line of clothing and just building the tribe out around the world.
Yeah. How is, I didn't want to miss that too. How has been the people that are wearing it? I just lost the word.
Ambassadors?
What is it?
Ambassadors?
I just like blanked the word. How's that like that program been for you guys?
Great. I love them.
Yeah.
Because they're so excited about the brand.
Yeah, that's so key.
The influencer space right now is a little saturated, so we've kind of stepped away from it a little bit. We do work with influencers, but these ambassadors are more on like the micro influencer side, and usually under 10,000 followers. They are really active in their communities, whether it's in a sorority or at schools. We actually even have some moms that are stay-at-home moms. So it's probably ranges from like, well, high school, like I said, my little brother.
Yeah, that's crazy. Which is so crazy.
Honestly amazing, because like someone starting off liking the brand so young is like such a thrilling thing to me, because like they're along for the ride. Like, we're determined to make this brand a journey. It's literally a treasure hunt. Like, and it's going to continue to just be this like encompassing story that everyone can be a part of. So I think it's really cool to see such young people, as well as like, you know, the moms. But yeah, the ambassadors have been great. Like today, my girls are at USC doing a pop-up on campus with the ambassadors, and they all like got together and promoted it on campus. They get like, they'll meet up outside, and it's a pretty new program, but I've had some really nice feedback in terms of like the relationships these girls are making. And that's really what it's about. Like I said, is bringing together these people. And like, I really would like to see, I guess talking about 2019, is doing more of like these meetups in person, and really, really strengthening the community in person. Like,
like you actually going there.
Get off social media for a minute and let's go meet up in person. Like, I want to travel and meet these girls. Like, they're the ones that inspire me every day, whether they're like just repping 12 Tribe, or they shoot me a message, or we're just talking in our Facebook group, but they get me so excited. And like, I just want to stay connected with them in person and have them meet other people and just grow it. Like, we have a few thousand people in the group already, and it's pretty dope.
That's amazing. I think it's important to double down on people that like have interest in what you're doing, because if they already are interested and you give them a little bit of value, whether it's messaging them back, maybe giving them free stuff or whatever, it's like they end up loving you even more. And so they become like this walking salesperson that is always like talking about 12th, or it's, I don't know, it's very easy to overlook like when somebody supports whatever it is that you do and just kind of take it for granted and keep moving along and get worried about the next Instagram post or the next whatever. But taking that 2 to 3 minutes, which I've gotten so much better at just recently, probably in the last month, of like taking that extra couple minutes just to message someone back or show them like,
I see you.
Yeah, not a copy and paste. Like, thanks for the support. Appreciate you posting. Like, I'll make sure to use their first name. Like, I want them to really see that I took the time to write out, just so they know.
I'll send them videos sometime.
Do you?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I gotta start doing.
You should start doing it. Honestly, when I'm on the go, I'm just like, I ain't got time. So I'm like,
amazing.
Hey, you have a question about this? Great. I'm wearing it right now. So how it fits? Like,
oh my God.
Or like, thank you so much. Like, I'm actually on the end of this right now in our DMs.
Oh my God. That literally just changed the light switch on me, because that is so much. I'm so much more of a video person than like typing it out.
I'd rather FaceTime people all day than like text them.
Yeah, me too.
FaceTime me tomorrow.
Oh my God. That's amazing. I'm about to steal this from you right now.
Go for it.
I love that. There was a couple more things I want to talk to you about. What do you think is one of the biggest strengths that you have that you're most proud of?
I'm perfect. No, I'm just kidding.
Perfect. I'm going to take that soundbite and put it out. Kidding. This is the episode with Demi. I'm perfect. They're like, yeah, we're clicking on that one. Nah.
Oh, the best part is I'm so not perfect at all. Yeah, I'm not. No one's perfect. What was the original question?
What do you think is your best strength?
Got it.
That you're most proud of?
Ooh, I would say I am relentless. I have definitely developed a really strong mindset over the last years, and I've learned to not take things so personal. I stay very focused on my vision, even if it's like I'm so down in the dumps. I think like, I don't know, I always remind myself that like I can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving up ever. And I don't know if you've ever seen that Will Smith YouTube video, but it's like Just Decide. Yeah, that. And like when he talks about being on the treadmill.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
I think I've heard it. I don't think I've seen it. He's
like, I'm going to get on the treadmill. I'm going to go fast. I don't remember it exactly.
He's talking about like racing somebody. He's like, I'm not going to lose. You're getting off the treadmill before I'm going to die on the treadmill.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, Will, talk to him.
I know. I always get so hyped off that. I'm like, yes, let's go. So yeah, I don't know. I pride myself in that. And then like my compassion for other people. Like I really do want to grow my brand so that I have a strong team, but also to see that they're excelling, they're learning, they have an income. Like that's so cool to me to be able to see that like something I started out of my mom's like room is supporting people. It's actually
helping people live.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
I had read, I think it was in one of your old blog posts about you had battled. Actually, it was actually one of the most recent posts you had put out on 12 Tribe. It was about, at one point you had battled depression yourself, which is, it's the social media world. I could literally rant about just like why I think there's so much, it almost is getting worse with social media.
Yeah, it's really bad.
What would you say to those who are currently battling depression today?
Don't give up. For sure, don't give up. I never thought I would actually experience it to the extent that I had ever experienced it. And I think just accepting if it is something in your life, that it is in your life and you need to figure out a way to deal with it and don't neglect it for too long. I'd say I probably experienced it for a few years and I always thought I could fix it and make it better on my own. And it's not really the case. I mean, you definitely can develop stronger mindset and fix the way that you look at things, but at the end of the day, like if you're clinically depressed with like low serotonin and you're really proven to be depressed, like I really encourage you to go speak to someone. If it comes to having to take some medicine, then okay, but like make sure you go and talk to someone with like an unbiased opinion and who's a professional in what you're dealing with. And always just remember, like no one's gonna judge you at all. Like if you feel like you don't want to leave your bed in the morning every single day, just tell someone and someone's going to have a helping hand and they're probably going to feel the same way. I can't even believe how many people deal with depression and anxiety. It's a lot. Like that are our age. And having dealt with it and being more okay with it and talking about it, I realized how prevalent it is. Is that the one? I don't know.
I'm tired with my vocal.
I don't know. I'm just tired, I think. But how often I've heard about it. And it's crazy.
Where did it stem for you? Like, what was the root of the cause?
Entrepreneurship is up and down and up and down. And it's probably like a lot of the pressure that I've put on myself over the last few years. The balance thing is really important, like I mentioned before. So I definitely neglected a lot of like self-love and things that I should be taking care of about myself. And very like high stress sometimes, and I'll get in my own head. And I don't really know what triggered it though. LA?
Yeah, I know, right?
No, and probably social media. The expectations that you put on yourself to be a certain level. It's entrepreneurship. Every month, it's like, okay, great, I killed it. We hit our goal. Now the next month, higher, more. It's always more. But yeah, it's just a matter of managing it.
How have you gotten better at like dealing with stress then? Going off of that.
My schedule.
Yeah. Going back to the balance, just knowing when to work, when not to work, when to go out with friends, when to just shut it down.
Working out plays a really big role in like handling my stress.
Morning?
About 5 times a week, probably. Yoga? Whether it's in the morning or at night.
You're definitely a yoga
guy, right?
Do I
just look like a yogi?
I mean, you're in West LA. I feel like.
Oh my God! Way to just categorize me right off the bat. Dang.
No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
I'm more.
Yeah, come on.
Just kidding. I love yoga for sure. It winds me down. But I do a lot of like running and I like to sweat.
Marathon runner?
No.
Would you ever do it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Of course.
Where would you run the marathon? Boston.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But the problem is it's going to be cold when you do it.
I was just going to ask the temperature.
It's not going to be good. That. It's not going to be good. It's cold.
Yeah.
When they do the marathon.
I have asthma. I can't do a cold.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that then. So. How would you describe success? What's your definition of success?
It's definitely changed over the years, that's for sure. And I think it goes back to the whole money thing. We all set goals, monetary goals we want to achieve, and I know that especially after losing so much of the balance in my life and putting so much of my attention into my work, success isn't going to just come from everything that is in my business. Like, it's going to come from the people I'm around. The relationships I have are so important to me, whether it's my friends, my family. I neglected my friendships for way too long in the beginning, just to be completely transparent.
I think I'm doing that right now, currently.
Yeah.
It's very tough.
Really?
Yeah, just trying to, not to shift, because I still want to hear your answer, but because of having to balance for the Uber life full time. And then running this is literally like another full-time job with the amount of content I'm trying to produce.
Yeah.
I've definitely had to neglect friendships, and it's very unfortunate.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Yeah,
oh,
really. So just relationships in general.
When I got into this whole world,
yeah,
I kind of was coming off of like, not a relationship, but something that went south when I was graduating with a girl. Mm-hmm. And it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it was like, I can't control the way somebody feels about me. And I'm launching this podcast. I need to go all in on this. And so for literally the last 2+ years, I've just like, I like have been so focused on it. I won't even allow myself really to go on dates because I just don't want to like get down this path. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because I kind of hate myself for it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like, I know what can happen. And if I can control the success of this, at least when I get to a point where I can, as I say, live again, then at least I can take those risks. Definitely. But right now I'm at the point where it's like, I don't have that room to risk.
Right.
But
it's a hustle, dude. Yeah. Like paying bills, like meeting meets end. It comes down to like the work we're putting in.
Yeah.
But give yourself some like TLC and enjoy the moments a little bit. And
was there like a moment for you then when you saw that, like you were like, wow, I haven't really been showing my friends the amount of love, or I haven't been hanging out with them as much as I should be?
Yeah. So like,
you don't have to go into it if it's...
No, I'm just trying to think about how to phrase it. Yeah. So basically like, I mean, living in LA your first year, it's like everyone's out partying and this and that. And I would turn it down a lot. I definitely had some amazing experiences and I still do. But I was always like catching myself saying, no, like I'm going to work today. I got to finish this, whatever, just like we all do. But like I was in a pretty like long relationship and I realized during that time.
This is after the 2-year one, right? Or is this another one after that?
That was that's a different one.
Different one, okay.
And I realized at the time, like, one, I'm giving up some things with my career, but two, like, my friendships haven't been where they need to be. Like, I just felt like a part of me was lost with the my girl friendships and stuff like that, just because I wasn't putting enough time towards it. Like, I talk about business a lot. Like, dude.
I love it.
Like, not many girls want to talk about business all the time.
Yeah.
So, it's just like learning how to shut that off and just have fun for the night and just like be a girl, like be girly. I don't know. Oh, I'm such a dude.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, no, what it comes down to is it's passion. Like you love what you do, so you don't mind talking about it. Like I will talk shop all day long with people if they're willing to talk about content and like collaborating.
You gotta pump the brakes sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
But like, what really I think opened my eyes was. So just be like completely transparent, because back to the balancing, it's so freaking important, especially for, I guess girls in the fashion industry, but for like down Coachella time is the craziest time of my life. So my second year in LA, I moved into my first office, which was like 100 square feet. It was just out of my room, because I was like, I need a dress, girls, but I can't do it like in my kitchen anymore. So I just found like 100 square foot office. But did I leave that office? No, not at all. And it was just me dishing out like stupid like just stupid. I shouldn't have ever have done that. Like I played the superhero syndrome and I just thought I could do it all. But as a result, like I got a freaking ulcer. Like I ended up in the hospital like in March right before Coachella, or May of Mother's Day weekend. Ended up in the hospital for 5 days. Like I went in for a checkup and they felt my heart and they were like, you need to go into the hospital.
Was it caused from stress?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you feel it like coming on? Like how?
Surprise world.
Yeah. Did it? I'm just so curious. Did it kind of just happen? Were there months of you like feeling chest pain?
Like a lot of pain. Yeah. It was like an ulcer's like right on the top of your stomach usually.
Yeah.
And I could feel it there for a while. Like I could barely eat.
Wow.
Yeah. It hurt every time I would put anything in my mouth. And so as a result, like I lost a lot of weight. But it wasn't intentional. It was literally just because I was in so much
There's pain. You just thought, like, don't eat as much.
Yeah, more like it's not letting me. Like, I would be laying on the bed in so much pain. Like, yeah, it was crazy. I never experienced anything like that in my life. But when people say stress can kill you, like, it can kill you. Like, literally, this doctor told me, like, you can't leave. Otherwise, you could have a heart attack. I was like, what?
You're, what, 23 at this time? 22?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I haven't opened up about that on a podcast before. It's like, I forgot, I guess. I don't forget, but
it happens quickly, but then
you don't realize how fast. And at that point I was like, oh my God, I need to slow down. Like, I need to slow down.
So after that, how did you like change it up?
I hired someone.
You hired someone.
I was like, what am I doing? I can pay someone. Like, you need to relinquish some of this control. And that's another huge lesson that I've learned is like, have trust in someone you bring in. Not right away, but allow them to gain your trust and start dictating, delegating.
Bars here to dictate.
Start delegating some of the tasks that you don't need to be doing. Like, I do not need to be packing orders.
No, not at all.
No. Rightfully so. Everyone should in the beginning because it's a good way to stay
That's how you
humble.
learn. You got to learn. You have to learn.
But anyway, so I hired someone, and I was just a little bit more strict about not overworking myself.
Wow. That's unfortunately, I think. Yeah, there's like these moments that like shit actually happens, and then it's like, wow.
Yeah, it gets
like,
a little too far.
Yeah, you have to wake up and actually realize like, no, I probably can't keep operating like this. And there's been a lot of people that I've had, once again, a lot of people that are in your circle, that nothing of health like that happened, but they kind of get to this realization of, I can make less money but have more time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's the amount of people that make that shift, and then they end up being happier because even though they were making money doing it the other way, they never had time to spend it.
Exactly.
Because they were working 100 hours a week.
I mean, the point of having like your own business and creating what you want in the end is really for freedom and to enjoy, or to build something now is for freedom. So it's like you got to set up your business in a way that like is going to allow you that time freedom, because what is all this money going to do if you can't utilize it? And I don't mean utilize it like you got to go buy a Louis and like Gucci shoes, but like go explore the world, like go have experiences, make memories, and get an apartment in every city. Like,
do the things that actually like
make you happy.
My thing is now, definitely when I was in high school, it was about like buying shit and buying things that like make me look good. Tommy Hilfiger.
I want to literally live with three things in my life.
I want to punch myself in the face for the high school kid, and shout out to my mom for having to swipe her credit card for a lot of that. But now much more of like, if it's an experience, then I'm like all in on it. Obviously, as long as it's not going to make me go bankrupt or broke, I'm going to double down and do it. But I think the experiences, especially if it's with people, that's just like priceless. Totally. Like, to me, it's priceless. Those are the moments that I'll be able to tell stories or talk about versus the bag that's going to run out.
And you learn so much.
Yeah.
You learn so much. Like, book a $400 flight to Europe, you're going to learn a whole new...
I know.
I learned one of, like, this is super random, but one of, like, the best tools on my Instagram through someone I met in France.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not telling you. I can tell you what it is.
What the... Off camera? Off camera?
Nope, no one has this. Literally no one has this.
Come on.
It's freaking genius.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be surfing the web now looking for it.
I know.
What are you most grateful for today?
My health. The people around me. I'm actually very fortunate for the people that I have around me now, because when I first moved here, like I said, it was really hard to find like-minded people and to be around individuals that I've like always had my best interest. And so I'm really, really fortunate for not only my mom and my dad and my step-parents, but also like the friends I've made here. And just like having a group of like-minded people who actually understand you is like the best thing in the world. Because I'd say like our mindsets, a lot of people think might be crazy.
Definitely.
We're totally 100%. Crazy.
They think we're cooked.
We're crazy.
They're like,
I'm sorry, why is that massive Tim Ferriss book always on your nightstand?
Got it right there.
Yeah.
got it over there.
Oh my God.
One of the very few books.
Nice.
Yep, got it.
Yeah. So,
The crazy people are the ones that change the world.
I know they do. The square and the round peg hole thing.
Those are the ones that actually like change the world.
Yeah.
That's, to me, I think the cure, or not the cure, but like the key to the whole success is just being surrounded by people that are trying to do
cool things.
It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be the same thing. It doesn't have to be podcasting or YouTube or content.
Just like motivated.
Yes.
Because think about where we'll all be in like 10 years.
Chilling living
together.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone, let's catch a flight to Bali or something. You know what I mean? All right, cool.
Yeah, well, freedom.
I can put in my 2 weeks. I don't need to. I run my operation anyway. It's pretty amazing. Before I get into the closing questions, this is when I reverse the role. I allow my guests to ask me any one question. It could be about something we talked about today, something you want to know about me. 2 rules. 1, it can't be a question that I asked you today.
Okay.
2, it can't be directly about the podcast.
Okay. What are you most afraid of? I wanted to ask. So we do live stories on 12th Tribe once a week.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask this so bad. And this girl who does them with me, she's like, that is way too deep. Like, no one is going to respond.
On.
I'm
no,
like,
the deep questions are when you get the
like,
best.
Like, really? I think we should try this.
Yeah.
This would be really interesting.
Those are the best.
They're going to be like sharks, spiders.
Yeah. We want something more deep than that.
Deep,
not
please.
something that's going to get you killed.
Yeah.
What am I most afraid of? There's a couple things jumping in my head, but I think the one... not reaching like my full potential, like not becoming the person I think I have the capability of becoming. That's like what scares me. And kind of going back to what we were talking about not long ago, like not allowing myself to get into relationships or like disconnect, not purposefully disconnecting myself from friends, but not showing them the amount of love that I should be. But I don't know. I just wake up with this fire under my ass every single morning to just try to build this as big as I can, but also build myself. I just want to see myself become the person that I always thought I could be. And not reaching that would scare me. It's not like I could paint a picture of like who that person is going to be, because I'm not really worried about, I'm going to become the biggest podcaster, the biggest YouTuber, biggest star, biggest entrepreneur. Like I'm not really worried necessarily about what that picture is. It's just being able to push myself to that greater purpose. And
what do you think could hold you back?
What would hold me back?
Yeah. Like, what do you think would be something that wouldn't put you there?
At the moment, nothing, because I'm literally putting every minute and every dollar. I'm doing everything that I need to be doing. So I don't think there's anything. Right. Yeah. You're good. You're good.
Did I just win?
Yeah, you're definitely good. There's nothing.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, because
the only way you're not going to get there is if you think you can't do it.
Yeah. The confidence. And that's for sure. Yeah.
Because you're only going to fail if you quit.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. For me personally, ever since I started this, there has never been, of course, there's these like micro conversations in my head, like, fuck, is anybody going to actually listen? Are people going to care? Like, is this actually worth people's time? But there's never been, should I give up?
Yeah.
I can promise, like, there's never been the moment of like, should I just quit? Should I just fold the cards? I don't even know what it was, but even from the beginning, and I was just telling this story to somebody recently, I think on the last podcast I did, but it was like, I knew from day one when I uploaded that first episode, I was like, there's 10 million people right now that want to listen to that second episode. It has to be there. And so it's always been that same mentality. But I think The Rock says this. I think it was The Rock that said this. He talks about like having your back against the wall and the only direction you can go is forward. And that's literally the way I look at every single day, is like, I have no other option. If there's a moment in time where the podcast doesn't feel like it's a thing, or maybe there's the next like pivot, then I'll do it. But at least this idea of content creating and connecting with passionate people in this whole world of like I don't want to call it entertainment because it's not, but it is. But yeah, there's nothing at this moment in time to answer the question. There's nothing at this moment in time.
You got it.
I'm gonna get there someday, somehow.
You are. You're getting there.
I am there.
You're not gonna. You're getting there.
I'm
You're
on
there.
the journey right now. I'm already there.
It's happening.
It is happening right before us. That was good. You should be a podcaster. You should maybe 12th Tribe podcast.
I might have podcast equipment staring at me in my room.
Yeah. That I would like to see.
For the last few
you should
months.
Make that happen.
Yeah, we're working on the name.
12th Tribe podcast.
That's boring.
Yeah, I know. Brought to you by 12th Tribe podcast, though. You could probably tie it in. Last questions. Social media. Plug it up. Where can they find you? Where can they find the brand? Where do they find Demi?
Well, let's see here. Okay, I got Instagram. For my personal Instagram, it's Demi Marchese.
Marchese, not Marchese.
Crazy Marchese.
Crazy Marchese.
Is this like written somewhere? Because
it'll be like
ain't no one gonna know how to spell that.
It'll be all spelled out. Like they'll be able to find it.
Okay, cool. And then the website's 12thtribe.com. We got Instagram for 12th Tribe at shop 12th Tribe.
Congrats on hitting 100K recently, not too long ago, right?
Those milestones.
Was it August?
September or August. I don't remember.
That's pretty dope. 100K on the G.
Oh, organic.
100K
That's nice.
on the G. That's incredible.
Yeah. It's nice to see a new figure.
Of course. So you got Instagram, For you personally, then the brand, and then the website. I'll have linked
Facebook,
up.
12th Tribe.
12th Tribe everywhere across the board. That's good.
Hang out with us on Wednesdays. We do live stories every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. For how long?
An hour.
1
hour.
Oh, that's
it
long.
Flies by.
It flies by. Well, I'm sure, because you're communicating with people. I'm sure people appreciate like chiming in and having conversation with you guys and talking, and that's cool. Before I ask the last question, thank you for coming in today. Appreciate you coming all the way up to the valley, sharing the story. I'm inspired by almost every person that you are friends with. Probably the people you're going to see this weekend that I've had on the podcast. They all inspire me. And I love that you, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but you literally
You're going to say,
DM'd,
I hate you.
You DM'd, listen, when episode 103 dropped with Stephen
God,
Borelli,
I'm dying.
Demi DM'd, she said, you need a girl on the show. She didn't even say anything, but she said, you need a girl. And I was instantly sold. I looked into your stuff.
Oh, man.
I was like, this is a girl that not only has her own thing going, but she just knows, like, I love that. So I want to say I respect that, because a lot of people I don't think would actually step up to the plate and shoot their shot.
Yeah.
And you did, and
no shame in the game.
I loved it. I loved it.
Thanks.
Last question. For somebody that's listening, hasn't found that passion, hasn't found the purpose just yet, they're still trying to figure it out, what do you think is the best 2 to 3 pieces of advice for them?
Still trying to find their passion. Don't settle. Definitely don't settle. I feel like a lot of times people get so set in their routine and so comfortable. Comfortable is so evil.
Yeah.
I actually was talking to my mom about this morning because, like I said, we're like the same person. And she's like, oh, I feel so comfortable right now. I hate it. It sucks. I need to go feel so uncomfortable, and I need to jump out of a plane. I'm like, okay, Mom, let's do it. Let's go. I'm going to go hang gliding this weekend.
Wow.
I decided.
You decided.
Yeah, if I don't go to Complex with you on Sunday,
Then you're going to hang glide?
Yeah.
Why not? We're just going to go.
I need like an uncomfortable moment for a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways.
So go hang glide. That's another one.
Yeah,
go hang glide.
No, just like seek that, uncomfortable. Don't settle for being comfortable, because whether it's a comfortable income, comfortable schedule, comfortable routine, just always like seek a little bit more than what you have. And like, if you don't know what your passion is, go and talk to people. Like when I first graduated college, I was always interviewing other people and learning what they were doing, what they like, or what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it, and really kind of dove in on different aspects of the industry to help me decide which part I wanted to be in. And if you don't even know what industry, like go talk to people in different industries. But your best resource is going to be connecting with other people who have gone through, who have had the experience already, and they can share with you and if you can figure out if you like it or not.
That's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do.
Demi Marchese.
Good job.
Thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
See ya.